Hi, welcome again. I'm Jason Walker. It's Walker Tea Review. It's that time of year. It's spring. You know, the birds got to sing. Buzz goes the bee. Time for the pickers to go out to the tea. And that's what we've got today. We've got a tea that we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be starting off. This is a spring harvest. This is last year's harvest, of course, '09. But this will give us a clue, an indication of what we can look forward to this year. Some of these spring teas are already on the shelves or in stock with some of your tea retailers online. Now we're going to be adding, as you see here, just to kind of make a note, you see I've got a pretty fluffy teaspoon here. We're going to drop that right in. I'm going to add just a pinch more. That's probably a dozen or less extra leaves that I just tossed in there. The water's been brought to a boil and then allowed to cool. So we are going to add our hot water here. Let it swirl over these leaves. Get them saturated. Give them some time to steep. Let the agony of the leaves set in there. And this is a good time. If you want to join us for a tea tasting, this is the time of year to do it. Be able to get those fresh teas in. Experience what a new fresh tea really tastes like. Notice that greenness, or if it's a green tea. Notice those stronger, more floral type, in a lot of cases floral, stronger, some vegetal type aromas. It's a garden. It's a produce stand. There's just so many choices and so many scents to pick up. Look at that. Now what you're seeing here, if you can actually see that, our gaiwan, which is a traditional Chinese style of steeping, we filled up the water to around the bottom of the edge of the lid, but the steam has pushed everything up and forced out some of the water. So you can actually raise up the little bit lid, and it goes back down under there, and that's a nice, good amount. The water is just sticking out above the rim, and we'll keep an eye on that because it could expand out again. That's okay. You want to be able. It's nice to have that kind of seal in there, and that traps in some of your heat. While we're waiting for that to steep just a little bit longer, let's talk about this tea. This is from Norbu tea. This is their Imperial Dian tea. It is a Dian. It will give you the indication that this is a tea from Yunnan province. This is their spring harvest Imperial Dian, as we said, spring of 2009. 50 grams for $12.50, currently on their website. And yeah, Norbu is out of, oh, I can tell you this, it also says that this is from Fengqing County in Linzhang, which is an area of Yunnan province. Okay, so we're going to be talking about three areas of this leaf. The liquor, the part that you drink, the wet leaf, and the dry leaf, which we're going to be looking at now. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this dry leaf. Give it a shake, stir it up a little bit. We stick our nose in here. I like to get more than one, kind of let the air go, the smell go up one nostril than the other, and then both. One thing I picked up is this kind of a malty type of smell. Second, third smells, I did get a very faint kind of chocolatey type note. Again, that was light. You had to work a little hard to really pick that up, though. So those are some. It's mostly a malty type of smell. Okay, and that is a characteristic of Yunnan-style black teas. Other things that you're going to note about these are, with this particular leaf, you're getting needles, and Yunnan needles or buds are on the lengthy side. So we do have a longer size of needle, or leaf here, I should say, inch to inch and a half, up to 2 inches. Well, rarely 2 inches. You're seeing a variety of colors. You're getting like this kind of you're getting a gold. You're getting a kind of a aged tobacco type of look, and yet you're also fading over towards a browner, grayish brown type, like a not quite a seal brown, but a lighter brown than that. Okay, so you've got a range from browns to gold, tobaccos to golds. As you look at these leaves a little more closely, you will often see that there is some fuzz on these leaves, or at least there's remnant of fuzz. Yeah, this one looks like it has some fuzz on it. You can also see the lining of the of your container. It is kind of has a golden, fuzzy, dusty look about it. Fuzz from these leaves. Now the fuzz on your newer leaves was a way for the plant to, what the best we can tell is a way for the plant to protect itself from from insects that were coming to attack and eat those tender, those often nutrient-rich newer leaves. So that was part of the purpose of why that fuzz is on a new tip or bud like that. Let's go ahead now. Our water has been able to kind of seep down into the gaiwan. I recommend a gaiwan. I recommend going up above to our green button that says, join a tasting, because you're going to find out about some of our upcoming tastings. You're also going to find out about some of the equipment that you will want to check out, possibly invest in for yourself if you really want to get into tea. Now, a gaiwan is useful for one person or maybe a couple people for a small group. There are larger gaiwans that you can get for a group of 5 people, say. This one is only about 4 ounces. You could do small cups, and usually when you're doing a Chinese style, you're using very small cups. Okay, but to pour, angle your lid over towards your glass. Put your middle finger and thumb on the rim, index finger on the lid to hold the lid in place, and pour just like that. Turn it towards yourself to get those last few drops to come out, because they're the most intense, the thickest, richest drops. The liquor down at the bottom, that's the technical term. The liquor down at the bottom of the cup, the gaiwan, is the strongest. Okay, we're going to move and talk a little bit about the wet leaf here. Get a good smell. Malty smells coming off. I got a bit of a raisiny type. If you could separate raisin from raisin skin, this would be more over towards like a raisin skin, dried grape skin kind of smell. If there's those are the two dominant. It's a little bit of the golden raisin, I would say. Malty smell. A little bit of a spice. Which spice is it? It's almost like a nutmeg type of smell. So we'll put that in there. A nutmeg type of smell in there. Okay. I'm about to move on too quickly, because I was about to jump to the liquor when we do want to look at these wet leaves ever so briefly. And you'll note that okay, you do have more consistent colors now. You have leaves that are a reddish, almost like an olive drab, easing over towards a rust red with a tinge of rust red to it. You have leaves that have, you have individual leaves that have been wrapped or, yes, pressed down the main vein of the leaf so that they're kind of crumpled along the horizontal, the vertical axis, of the leaf here. Okay. What else? Not some pairs. Yeah, you do here's to have a leaf pair. I'm going to put that more than one leaf together still on that tip there, or of the plant. And there's a nice small one to look at as well. So you're getting leaves that have not fully unfurled. Some of them have, but good indication that you can get more than one steeping out of this. Off-camera tastings that I did, yes, you were able to steep more than once and get almost as good as the first cup. Okay, but let's go on now to our liquor. Get that swirled around a little bit. Just kind of look at that color. This is looking like it's a red tea or a black tea. Red tea is the Chinese term for a black tea. It is beyond. It's a very deep reddish amber. It's beyond the orange type amber that you may see. So redder, brighter, or deeper red, I should say, than an amber. Still a good malty smell coming out. Still also some yellow or white raisin type smells coming off here as well. It's got a briskness to it. It's got like a lot of other red teas. This is probably one of the brisker ones as far as a Chinese black tea. Bit of astringency, not too overpowering, not too strong. The body, we could say, was for a black tea. The body was probably medium on that aspect. A biscuity note. This one has the feel of almost like a baked bready type element to it. Still the maltiness, although it's not a pronounced maltiness. Let's say it's kind of subdued. It's I'll put it this way: Dian Hongs that I've come to appreciate have a higher level of maltiness to them. And a maltiness that almost carries the other flavors, yet allows the other flavors to come out. This one, the maltiness doesn't, do the heavy lifting. It doesn't carry the rest of it. And so what happens is, instead of getting a malty type feel in your mouth, with that malty taste, you're getting a briskness and an astringency that kind of carries everything. So you do have some malty, although it weaves in and out with that biscuity type note. Also, this one, some of your black teas like this, they will have a stronger fruit type element, whether it's like a plum, some kind of red or stone fruit, a peach, a plum. This one's lighter in those aspects. Let me give it one more try. If anything, there is a light peach note to it, peach juice note to it. Not as pronounced as some others that I've tasted, as far as the like a Yunnan type black tea at Dian Hong, say. But overall, those elements are present. It does have maltiness. It does have a bit of a stone fruit peachy type taste or element to it. It does have a brisk bite to it. It has a nice tangy astringency to it. The aftertaste is extended, and but it's kind of dominated by this drying tannic type feel in the mouth. So when we look at this tea as a whole, the liquor didn't really give us a rounded display, a mature display. The wet leaf leaves were okay. They were pretty. They did not completely unfurl, which means in my experience as well, you did get more than one steeping out of these. Dry leaf, I've seen some that have a greater range from a richer, brighter gold, almost like a blonde hair type color, to a brown. So there really wasn't that range of leaf colors, that complexity, that depth of character there in the dry leaf. So when we look at this tea as a whole, we probably give it, I do give it an 88. We'd like to see a more mature, mature, balanced, right mix of malt and flavor in the liquor, and that's probably the dominant part, while bringing down the tannic note so that it isn't so brisk, astringent feeling in the mouth. So again, this was Norbu's Imperial Dian. This was '09. Perhaps the climate, the conditions in Yunnan were more suited towards black teas of this type this year, 2010. Give it a try, and come back and join us again here at Walker Tea Review.